Hi everyone, this is just a quick video to give you a tutorial on how to display and present your coding and scripting section in the A2 assignment for web design. I'm starting just in my WordPress dashboard, as you can see, and I'll go through the different sections that you would need to highlight and emphasize in your assignment. So first of all, we'll start on our home page, and you can choose any page you wish in terms of your site. There's no problem there. But what we can't show you in school is this section here. Okay, and I'm using Firefox. So you can use Chrome or Safari, Edge, whichever you wish. But it's still this section here that we're focusing in on. Okay, so in terms of inspecting elements, you can show this in your assignment, and this will be able to highlight specific elements. So if we were to look at the animation element that I have in this image slider, it's in here that I really want to focus my attentions, and as you can see, it's being highlighted in different on the screen. And I'm just drilling down into the code, and you can see how that is then still highlighting within each section. And we're wanting to then highlight the code that we're using and the CSS that is also over here. So we can play around with different things. Maybe not too much of a difference there, but we can use this in on the screen and make changes to the code in the screen and work around with it there. Probably this will show the biggest difference. Well, there you can see it's been struck out, but you can see how the code is just working in situ, in place with how our site has been designed, and so you can show this within your assignment here. We've actually drilled down far enough. This is there's the URL for the image, so that will show you just different elements of the code and how it works within the site. But the one that we really want to focus in on also is this view page source, which will load this element. Okay, and as you can see, there's a lot of code on the home page, and we can highlight different elements. Okay, we've got different images, we've got different WebKit filters for different browsers. We have our CSS here. Anywhere you see the word style, like in this setup structure here, that is where CSS is being used. So here we're really using emphasizing the height and padding width here in these elements. And if we were to then move back over here to the inspect element, we would be able to find where that really plays in to the site and how it looks. In terms of height and padding, it's really this section here, okay, where we have this highlighted. I can't really show it by moving my mouse, but if you look where the picture ends and then just beyond it, there's that line, that dotted line, and that is where our padding comes in. And it just creates a little bit of white space, a little bit of space really in the website, and separates it from other elements. Okay, so we would also have it to play into play here if we were to scroll down. Just drilling down through the code to see how the specific elements, but you can see there where I've highlighted it, and then the padding here between where the text starts and where the image plays in, and so that works within the structure of the site. And this is what we're really wanting to highlight and discuss and explain in the coding and scripting section, that how the interplay of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript work together to make a functional functional site. So practically and quickly, the HTML would be, I think I've discussed this in class, would be the skeleton. It would add the structure to everything, and without it, there wouldn't really be anything. So within our page here, we've got our structure, we've got our navigation, and this is all the HTML structured in certain areas, in certain ways, and that creates the structure to the page. The CSS then is how the page looks. So that in the analogy of the body would be the hair color, the eyebrows, the chin size, chin structure, nose structure, do all those elements of the body that differentiate us from each other, and in terms of those differences. And then the JavaScript is the animation on the screen. So practically we have this element loading on each part, and so that timing element loading through gives the behavior of the site, and that's where JavaScript relates into the body. It's the behavior of the person, how they walk, how they talk, how they act, all those different things. But all those things together make the person, and so in the same way, the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript all together make the website, and so it's how it comes together and is packaged together. Moving back to then our code, so we would want you to be highlighting bits of code here that again is working with the CSS and being able to explain that. What we're going to look for is not the main. But it will be these. Sorry for the pause there. I'll just delete that out. What we would want you to then also highlight within the CSS is to be able to identify the CSS and where it's working in. So these links here are all elements of the CSS. So particularly where you see the .css file. So you can see even here, these are different pages, that different categories rather that I have in my site, and you can hopefully in your own site begin to pick out different elements that you've built and made, and then how that then plays into the site and works into the site through the code. Just jump back up to the top, because this is where the majority of our CSS files will be. So we've got Minify CSS files there. There are some that we would want to highlight more than others there. Yes, well, this is one particular one. As you can see, these files scroll across an awful lot. I'm not going to focus in on them at all because that's not the right one. But these files will all show different elements of how we're structuring the site to make it look in different ways. There is typically a main CSS file, which I can't locate. I'm not going to waste time on it. But within your own site, you'll have these different CSS files. Here we have media element player for legacy minfile, so you can see it will scroll across, and it will give all these different elements to the parts of the site that it controls. We also have elements here where we have lazy load, which would be another type of JavaScript, and another behavior on the site where we don't load the whole page. We load the page that the visitor needs to see. So that would be practically this, what you see here, and then this section loads in underneath as the page is scrolled down, and the person looks at the other elements of this site. Different other elements of coding and scripting that you can look at will be in your contact form. We used so we can see here my contact form isn't working, but the contact form 7 plugin, and you can see that should work there, but yours will be fully functional, and you'll be able to show that in on your pages in here. And so taking the screenshot of both ends, both the how the form should look on the website, and then also here on the back end in terms of the how the page is structured and being designed. You can also then show in the plugins that you've used. Another one that we used was the collect.chat chatbot. So if we activate this, and again, just show this again, use it as a script. There we have the keyword that we can use, and this script pulls in the chatbot script that we designed over here. And so you can again show that in action, and show how that works on your site. And again, it's showing that scripting element of what you've designed and how it benefits the client, the person that you're designing the website for, which is the key part of what we're wanting to pull everything back towards, and how it benefits them, and showing that evaluative element of how it adds value to the site. And folks, that is pretty much everything I have to discuss about that. If there's anything further, you can by all means chat to me in class. Hopefully this has explained a wee bit more of what we're looking for, and most importantly, how you go about finding it when you're working at home, because obviously in school we can't access this information, this content here, but this is what we're looking at, and we want you to show how it works and to demonstrate your understanding and knowledge of it in action. So that's everything, folks. Thank you. See you soon.